mutation itself is so unique within that universe that it's like you never know what a person being a mutant means, like as far as what they can do or how their mutation basically benefits them. So that alone is just very interesting to think about. So, there's that concept just to kind of like break the ice, right? Like I know that took some time to really get through, but that's the idea, is that, the people with superpowers within the X-Men universe, for the most part, are mutants, because there's also the interesting layer of there being a few characters within that universe who happen to have superpowers through other resources, but they aren't necessarily mutants. The first most popular character that comes to mind when it comes to a scenario like that is Juggernaut. Like, he's actually a very popular super villain within the X-Men universe, even to some casual fans. Like, I feel like a fair amount of people recognize and know who the Juggernaut is, but he's actually not a mutant, quiet as it's kept. He's actually just a super vengeful freakazoid of a fucking human who came into contact with like a magical crystal that transformed him into the Juggernaut, but he's technically not a mutant. And funny enough, while he's not technically a mutant, he can easily probably squash most fucking mutants, or easily, defeat them in battle, based on how powerful he is. So, that's interesting. But going beyond that, again, I did mention in the first part of the podcast talking about the X-Men that they were originated in the 1960s. So with that being said, during that time, there was the whole, Jim Crow law thing going on. I believe the civil rights movement. Basically, there was just a lot of, obviously, like racism going on during that time, segregation between whites, blacks, minority groups. That was even a time where, the LGBT were fighting for their rights. Like, all of this stuff was going on during the 60s and 70s, which were basically like prime years for the X-Men comics and, their whole plight. So what I came to